Hello, so this is episode 2 in Chesco teaches you Illustrator. So just a little preview, this is what I'm working on. I'm using rulers in order to be able to create, to know where everything is and aligning everything to where it needs to be. So I'm just setting up the numbers and the words, and this is for another project. So we're going to go again, we're going to go to the new, and it's going to prompt us to our little screen. This time we're going to flip it. We're going to flip it. We're going to make three artboards. Okay, so there we go. So we go there, and then we got three artboards. Notice how they're layered. That's one of the things we'll learn in the future. So what we're going to do is we're going to make a character first on this layer. So I'm going to use my circle tool, and I'm going to use so all the tools that I use. This is also an assignment, so like you have to do it, okay? Because I'm gonna get mad if you don't. And so what you have to do, what you have to do is you have to build these shapes, okay? So you're building these shapes, so like this, and you can build them differently. Like you can play around with them, but we're gonna make a little person, okay? And by little person, I don't mean like someone who is like smaller than the average person or a child. I mean, like, I don't know what I mean. I think that people like, is the term little person offensive? It depends on who you refer it to, you know. It's like children are little people. I don't even know what So I'm moving it with the arrow. Rambling. So I'm moving it with the arrow left and right. And I'm aligning it. Now notice that everything is filled. So I'm doing that. Now I'm going to take these and I'm going to press Alt and I'm going to click on it and I'm going to drag it away. And then I'm going to press Alt and then click on it and drag it away. It's going to create a clone, like Attack of the Clones. And I'm going to drag it away. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom in with my click forward. And then I'm going to shrink it, and I'm going to do shrink. I'm pulling on the arrow, like the say little dots, I'm pulling them. And then I'm going to do this, and I'm going to put this guy right here. I'm giving him like a foot, sort of. You know what I mean? What's up? What's up? I got a foot. Oh, yeah. And then I'm going to go with this one, and I'm going to do totally the opposite. I'm going to lengthen it, and I'm going to do that. And I'm going to see what that does and what kind of shape that gives me. So it gives you that shape, and that's kind of an interesting little shape going on there. I'm going to delete that because I don't need it, and I'm going to delete this because I don't need it. What I should have done is I should have just created this and then just cloned it. Just unnecessary cloning. So I'm doing that, and I'm putting these things on. Now I need to have a neck, so I'm going to use this, and I'm going to flip it. Once again, in order to clone it, you basically hold down Alt. And I'm going to put a neck on my little character right there. And so there we go. Now I'm going to zoom in again, and I'm going to create the eyes on the little character. I'm going to create one eye. And I'm going to create like kind of like a vent system, like like a vent thing. You know what I mean? Like those things from the 1920s, back in the days. And then I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna, you know what, we're introducing the line tool. So we're gonna go ahead, but we want to color the antenna completely. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna make a shape. And this is what y'all should be thinking about. Y'all should be thinking about how now we're going into like an exit like this. Now what you want to do is you want to make the antenna and then you want to connect it. But sometimes it don't connect, and then you're like, what? Let's see, did it connect? It did not connect. So what you gotta do is you gotta get the Y arrow and you gotta press shift and then press shift on the other point. And you gotta go object, path, join. Why is this important? Because look at this. If you do that, right, and it's not joined, and even just a little bit, it's like, I'm going to join it just, and then you double click in order to move it, even just a little bit. I want to fill it with a color, and then you go in like, what color, and then you go that one, and then it's like, okay, I'll do it. But I'm just letting you know that in the future I can't. But you see how there's like you know what I mean? Like, what happens? I totally don't even know. Like, I didn't know that it would do that. Well, I guess it does that. It's like, I'll just fill what I can. Okay. Alright, well, that's how that works, you know. So if you want to go back, you go to Control Z, Control Z, Control Alt Z, or Control Z, yeah, Control Z. And that's the episode. What else am I gonna teach you? Oh, typing. Let's go ahead and use the type tool really fast. Just learn the type tool. So the typing is for, like, you know, typing. You know, like you're gonna type things on the computer, like texting, but with like your fingers in like a bigger keyboard. So you're gonna make a square. You're gonna drag a square, and that's your square. And you're gonna say, let's say we're gonna call him hot stuff. Hot stuff. No, don't call him that. Hot heat. Hello. Heath hello. Heath hello. There we go. Heath hello. Heath hello. We're gonna call him Heath hello. So there's that. Now what the positive thing about that, now I don't need that much space because that's just his name. And I'm gonna go ahead and do that. But what if I wanted to make it bigger, right? So I highlight it, I little cursor type tool highlight, and let's say we want to go 18 points. What happened? Where did the rest of it go? Well, it's only within the confines of that box. When you open up that box, you see more of it. Ta-da! You get it? And if you pull the box, it's not going to make the font larger. If you go like this, it's not. Not in Illustrator. I don't know if in Photoshop it does. I think it might. I forget. So there you go. So that's your type tool. And oh, should I teach you how to cut shapes really fast again? So you take those two things, and then you go to the cut shape tool, which is right here. You see it right here? You go like this, wah, wah, and now that's a shape. That's one shape. And then you can go like this. You can't go like that because I did not select that piece. So it will not perform the function. So let's see if we can do all of this guy. Let's see if we can do, okay, so let's go, and then right here, you see it, and then the cut tool. So you go like this, and you go like that, and then it's joined together, and you go like this, and you might be able to hit your right over here and be like, what up, girl? And then right there, it's reading, and it's like, hey, I read it all, brother. And then you can go like that, and then even like this, and be like, ooh, look at that. See, you made a whole shape. So that's that. And now if you were to fill this, you could go to, like, you know, I want it to be, let's see, a greeny color like that. It's like, look what happens. It's like, it's all green, you know what I mean? Because in the past, if you had these do not get filled because you have not joined them together. So you go ahead and do that, and then do the experiment, and maybe add feet and see what happens. Alright, enjoy, and in the future we'll learn a little bit more. How do I turn this off?